morning, everybody. Good morning. A little late this morning, but here we are. I forgot I had a couple things to do. I apologize if I get any background noise, but um so 49ers are now officially in Minnesota. They took off and flew over to Minnesota. They're there, they're arriving, they're starting to warm up already. And as we're getting ourselves gathered this morning, they're already at work. So that's great. They made it there safely, and everybody for the most part is there, except a couple people like Robert Kimdiche, who was released. I believe it was yesterday. Unfortunate, but that was one of the things we knew we were probably going to see. This was kind of forecasted before the season was beginning, that the Niners were going to have so much talent on the defensive line that most likely a couple really good players were going to get let go. But one thing to look forward to that might happen is even when players get released, I mean, they have to be released before they are given a chance to come back on the practice squad. So if Kimdiche doesn't go anywhere else, then we can throw him back on the practice squad. So I know there were some good things seen from him, and from what I've heard as well is that he developed a relationship, a good friendship with Javon Kinlaw. So hopefully that's something worth him coming back. So we'll see how all that goes. But another guy who's not there with the 49ers is Jimmy Garoppolo. And, I'm pretty sure we all know why. And one of the questions, I'm going to put this in the chat, is I want to know whether you guys think that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team week 1 of the regular season. Now, Kyle Shanahan has said that he will be cutting Jimmy Garoppolo if we haven't made a trade. That Jimmy Garoppolo will be cut by August 30th, the final 53-man roster cut deadline. So Kyle Shanahan, for the most part, has been pretty honest with us since day one, aside from a couple things. But, honestly, I don't know about this one, man. I mean, we're not going to get anything for Garoppolo, most likely, in a trade. So for him to stay, our other quarterbacks look pretty good. As I said in a couple of my other videos, that Purdy and Sudfeld are looking pretty good. So, why would we keep Jimmy Garoppolo? Free up the cap space, maybe to bring in some other players during the season if everything's looking good, which I'm pretty confident that everything's going to be looking good, and probably progress and snowball effect during the season to where we roll into the playoffs, getting into a roll, kind of like last year where we started getting hot later on in the season. That's one of the things that I see going on this season, but overall, I'm pretty confident that we're going to do really well. I haven't made my record predictions yet. I think I might hold off on that unless it's requested. But one of the things, I forget who was saying it, that we'll probably lose to the Chiefs. Just off top of my head, I don't really see that happening. I think the Chiefs are taking a step back, honestly. I know they got a couple other weapons, even though they lost Tyreek Hill. But if this defense is healthy and Lance doesn't feel the pressure of having to score so many points, then I see us beating the Chiefs this year, and getting some revenge from that Super Bowl. So screw the Chiefs. Who cares? But yeah, one of the other things that's good news is Armstead. If you guys haven't heard, Eric Armstead, Kyle Shanahan was confident that he's pretty much ready, but he wants to take it slow with him. So he could throw him in there and to practice and everything right now, he feels like, but he don't want to. So that's a good thing. That's really good news to hear. Of course, we have all those other injuries, so that's not great. But on the bright side, nothing is too serious. The most serious one right now out of the players we got to lean on is most likely Jimmy Ward. So, um, yeah, hopefully Ward is soon back sooner than later. But everything else is pretty not so bad. So that's good. But going towards Lance, man, after this preseason game, one of the best things that I saw that I took away from it was because we're worried about his health, right? One of the reasons I'm confident in the Niners being really good this year is the 49ers having, stepping up in the quarterback position with Trey Lance. But we have to keep him healthy. He has to try to stay healthy as well. And that was one of the things he actually talked about in the conference that I listened to, because I was really happy to see him slide for the first time. And I honestly didn't know if I remembered him sliding, and he confirmed it today. Or no, the post game press conference after the Packers. Um, he confirmed it that he doesn't think he's ever slid a game in his life. So that's pretty funny. But I'm really glad that he was proud of it. And it was actually something he took a mental note of before the game. He said he was talking with some of the other players before the game, saying that slide is something that he wants to work on, which is great news because, of course, the offensive line is one of the things in question. So, I'm really encouraged by that, man. I want him to stay healthy. So he's gonna have to play his part as well as the offensive line. But I see a couple comments coming in here. Bryant, let's see. All right on, man. You saw me on Grant's channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, bro. Hopefully I can do more and more videos. I work full time as well. I just got off this morning at 7 in the morning and I had to do a couple things, but I'm gonna be posting as often as I can. I appreciate you, man. Um, and likewise, we'll see if we could get you on the channel sometime too. Is come on live with me. I want to get some of the 49er fans, some of the rest of the Niner gang in here to put in their 2 cents and just hang out and have a discussion, man. That's what all this is about. This is 49ers therapy. I need another coffee. But yeah, this is 49ers therapy. And I want to include everybody's perspective and analysis, all that type of stuff in the conversation to make a conversation, right? So I appreciate anybody who chimes in and shows support, man. Much love to all you guys. Um, but another thing I see from Lance is I'm really encouraged by his poise. He doesn't seem like the moment is too big for him, so that's great. He doesn't look he's like a deer in the headlights, so to speak. So that's really cool. He seems like he feels like he belongs there. He looks like he belongs there, and that's one of the things he's kind of passed with me on since day one was he. What was I about to say? Oh man. Um that's what I was gonna say. He passes the eye test, and that's for sure, man. When I watch games of other quarterbacks and I watch Trey Lance, of course he's not perfect, but he passes the eye test. I feel confidence in the way he plays, even though he makes mistakes and he's going to. I think all the good is outweighing the bad and going to, especially building towards the future, man. He seems to be somebody who actually improves, which I feel like Garoppolo actually was declining, never improved, but even worse, he declined. If we go back and we watch some of the stuff from like 2017 going on to 2019, he just seems like he lost confidence, maybe even some athleticism. Maybe he didn't work hard enough. I don't know if it was just the loss of confidence, but he definitely seemed to decline. I feel like Garoppolo from 2017 was way better than the 2021 Garoppolo we saw. And that's one of the things I talked about with Brock Purdy. He reminds me of the old Garoppolo that was still running out of the pocket and throwing on the run really beautifully. And I don't think that's BS, man. That's a true statement coming from me. So that's what really encourages me. Another thing that's from Trey Lance is that he actually improves. He wants to improve. So that's great, especially if he's at that bar that he's at or he was last season and he had already improved from one half to another. Imagine a whole season. And that's I think about the possibilities of Trey Lance improving through the season and seeing what the final outcome is. Hopefully in the Super Bowl, and I don't want to make too many bold predictions right now, but one that I think is that I feel like we'll be in the Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills, and if that's the case, then um, I think that's going to be a good show for everybody. That's like some prime time heavyweight match right there. That's like some badass TV. But Brian's in again. Jimmy G ACL injury hurt his ability to move. Then Kyle limited um his him from going off script. Yeah, man, I agree. Um and that was something. I don't know if you've seen my other video where I talk about that. Kyle Shanahan's a control freak, and this is something that I hope to see Trey Lance kind of stick the middle finger up to Kyle Shanahan and do his own thing, and hopefully Kyle Shanahan doesn't get too uptight about it. um, at the end of the day, we wanted Lance, us as fans, we wanted him over Mac Jones for his athletic ability and the spontaneous great plays that he can make because of his athletic ability. So we need him to be natural and go in the flow with things and not so be controlled by um, Kyle Shanahan. But yeah, you're right. Kyle Shanahan definitely limited him. I think that was another thing actually that I'm really interested to see Jimmy Garoppolo when he goes to another team. I want to see how he does on another team where he's not so he's not the puppet under the strings, so to speak. I want to see if he kind of starts to let loose a little bit again, like he did before. Because like Brian talks about here as well, the ACL injury that did hurt his ability to move, but I think it also hurt his confidence to want to move, to try and move, which he did. It seemed like getting drafting Trey Lance kind of lit a fire under Garoppolo's ass, and he wanted to be that dual threat quarterback like Trey Lance. So we did see him try some mobility things during last season. And even George Kittle talked about it in one of the press conferences where he's like, we have a more mobile quarterback. His name's Jimmy Garoppolo. And that was pretty funny. But let's see. Yeah. Okay. So last season, no, not last season. Sorry, in the Super Bowl when Garoppolo missed that throw to Emmanuel Sanders, it seemed like he just completely lost confidence in all his deep throws. Um, till finally, what Kyle Shanahan made him throw the ball deep in the first half. Was it against the Bears to Debo Samuel? Yeah, I believe so. Right before the half, we see Kyle Shanahan basically tearing Garoppolo a new one on the sideline, telling him, "Can you do this? It's easy shit." Of course, we didn't have any sound, but we can definitely read the lips. And right after that, Garoppolo's he comes out and throws a bomb to Debo Samuel, and of course, Debo Samuel had to stop and come back for it, but he made a great play. So that kind of plays a part in Garoppolo's confidence. He just needs to step in his throws more. That quick release, he needs to be able to switch that up to putting his full body motion into his throws, and I think he can gain his confidence back. But I do want to see him in another offense where maybe the another coach will let off the reins with him and he'll kind of do his thing again, not be so controlled by Kyle Shanahan. But I also don't want to see Trey Lance controlled by Shanahan either. But yeah, man, his poise is really great to see. So um, hopefully he can continue that confidence, and I'm very, very confident he will. Um, And that's another thing too. So with all these injuries that we're having in training camp, of course, the defense is kind of taking a step down, and Trey Lance is showing out more in training camp. Now, of course, he's also getting different looks, and we're going to get to hear all these things coming from Vikings. What do you call it? Joint practices. So I'm really curious to see how that goes. And let's see. See that okay. I don't know if you were here, Brian, for that one, but I that was one of the things I was asking for you guys to put in the comments as well. If you guys think Garoppolo will be on the team the first week of the regular season. Honestly, like I said before, Kyle Shanahan has been honest with us for the most part, and he says Garoppolo will be cut on August 31st if he's not traded by then. But I still don't know, man. I still think there's a chance he might keep Garoppolo because we can never rule anything out. But um, at this point, I would lean more towards they're going to release him. Garoppolo doesn't want to be here. There's all these headlines coming out as well as far as another 49ers assistant training staff talking about how as soon as Garoppolo got that contract in 2018, right after the 2017 season, that Garoppolo was basically ghosting everybody, and he just completely flipped the switch to doing all the right things, saying all the right things, and just disappearing on the whole 49ers training staff and the whole team. Basically, it's been a narrative since basically since Garoppolo's been on the team. Every time you ask a player or a coach if they've been in contact with Garoppolo, and not just this season, I'm talking about all seasons prior. Um, Most notable, probably George Kittle and Kyle Shanahan have talked about it. That Garoppolo ghosts everybody. He's horrible at texting back. They would always say. And remember, that was before we traded Trey Lance as well. So I definitely don't think he won brownie points by doing all that. So I don't think he wants to be here. Well, I know he doesn't want to be here. He's not at joint practices right now. He got left behind. He's not in the playbook. He's kind of just putting on a show in training camp on the sideline, so he can get some trade partners, hopefully. And I hope, I just hope that he gets the best possibility for him and for us as well. Would be great. And that was one of the thoughts that I had before too. Was if we do trade him, um, well, if we don't during the preseason and we still have him during the regular season, that I honestly don't want to walk away from this empty-handed. I would like to see us get some offensive linemen and maybe even a safety because that safety position is looking really slim right now. Funga, he did pretty good during the preseason game. Tarvarius Moore, not so much. And now that Tarvarius Moore is stepping in for Jimmy Ward, being out for possibly a month, maybe more. Um, Not so confident in that safety position anymore. Um, it's pretty crazy that the 49ers didn't try and get more like another safety in the draft. We have George Odom is probably going to be the next guy up, battling it out with Tarvarius Moore. Um, and he's doing all the right things, saying all the right things right now. He's more of the special team safety, but um, I wish him luck, man. I hope him and Tarvarius Moore bring the best out of each other to get the best at that position while Jimmy Ward is out, and that we don't rush Jimmy Ward from injury to get in that Bears game week 1. I would rather him be confidently healthy. Why risk it and lose him for the season? Jimmy Ward is definitely an important piece on this defense, so I would not like to see him being rushed back from injury. But one of the things that I do see going on is that um, I've said it before as well. The offense this year, the way I see it, is going to be like whack a mole, and in the sense that is going to be wide open. I don't think is really going to be defendable because um and do I have okay. Here, let me finish this real quick. So um the offense coming into this year with Trey Lance being the dual threat quarterback and us having all the yak guys, Lance doesn't have to throw deep, but we definitely have that option. Now the defenses, of course, that we're going to face are going to have to defend the whole field with the run game and everything. Um, and I just don't think they're going to be able to. I think it's going to be like whack a mole, where they're going to put special coverage on one guy, then another guy is going to start lighting up, and then another guy, then another guy. You're not going to be able to cover all these holes, I don't think. That's the way I see it playing out. And to top it off, once training camp, once the fans weren't there anymore, um, the 49ers started practicing the triple option and the pistol, kind of like those Washington days with RG3. So, man, they're gonna do stuff we haven't even seen yet to top it off. So if you guys think we've seen it all and all the possibilities, oh man, wait to see what they got in store for you. I don't know if they're gonna use too much of it in week one. I wouldn't. I would just do what we got to do to win the game. Um, just because I don't think that's going to be too difficult of a game to win. I think we could put the Bears away pretty easily. Um, I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year as long as everybody stays healthy. And of course, we have the injuries already. That's a big problem. Um, it's not encouraging, but the Niners have always been one of the most injured teams in the NFL for the past few years since the Kyle Shanahan regime. And we've still had great showings. So I'm confident in what this coaching staff could do, even with injuries. But of course, we want the best of our best out there, right? Um, Brian, do you have a Twitter or Instagram? No, sir, I don't. I appreciate you though. I have an Instagram. It's just like my personal Instagram, but it's not like my 49ers Instagram. And I don't even really use my Instagram anymore. I've thought about starting a Twitter and Instagram for um, for my 49ers stuff, my coverage, but I don't know. I could barely keep up with my social media I have right now, and I'm not too motivated by social media. I think I like the YouTube stuff more, but it's definitely something I'm gonna think about for the future. We'll just kind of see how everything plays out. It seems like it's a outlet to kind of help me gain more of a following and um, just kind of meet more people and stuff like that. So we'll see. It might be the smarter thing for me to do. Might help me to get better at what I do as well, right? I am a rookie. This is my amateur year, my rookie year. So you guys bear with me. But Brian, I definitely appreciate you, man. And you said since Chip Kelly as well with the injuries, right? Yeah, man. Can we just forget that Chip Kelly era? That was sad and funny at the same time, honestly. Man, that's like forbidden history right there. Yeah, if I get a Twitter account, I'll definitely find you. I'll check it out. But yeah, man, that's gonna be something I got to think about. Um, so okay, I have a question for you guys. How often do you guys think we're gonna be going three and out? Um, I don't think it's gonna happen very much. So when we played the Cardinals last year, there was a lot of Trey Lance having to convert fourth downs and stuff like that. And he converted what, like a 4th and 10, 4th and 12. Come on, man. You think we're gonna have a whole lot of three and outs with that kind of production just out of Lance himself? Yeah, man. I'm telling you, this offense is gonna. I think it's gonna go crazy, man. As long as Trey Lance keeps doing his thing, sliding, not taking any hits, and the offensive line doing their part. Um, Man, this is going to be a season to remember, I think. And Man, unfortunately, Garoppolo couldn't get us past that mark, but fortunately, I think we have the piece to do so, man. Um, Garoppolo really held us back, but Trey Lance, I think, is that piece that's not going to make so many mistakes, and he really doesn't have to do too much to put us over the top because we basically dragged Garoppolo. He's like somebody who's kind of kicking and screaming, and you're dragging him by the ankle. And I feel like Trey Lance is just going to be that thing to get us over that peak, man. But yeah, three and outs. And also use check. We've been seeing him in the press conferences. He's always well spoken and all that, but use check. One of the things that I haven't liked in seasons past is use check is a weapon to be reckoned with, man. He's the baddest fullback in the league, if not one of the baddest. I mean, he was just named um in the 100 greatest players. Definitely he got lowballed, I think, just because under with Garoppolo under center, I don't think Kyle Juszczyk gets to be used the way we can actually use him. He doesn't get the production he deserves and the recognition he deserves, as a result of all that. But with Trey Lance, man, dude, I can even see him going in this triple option offense. I think he's going to be used more in the um, goal line formations and stuff like that to run it in himself. Um, I'm thinking at least 5 touchdowns this year for use check and a lot of highlight reels, man. Um, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. Let me see. I think the offense will stay the same with more big throws. The three and outs will depend on the execution. See, that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to stay the same with more big throws, but that's the thing. So when those big throws are going on, the defense is going to have to spread out to defend that. They're going to have to try and cover the holes over the top as well. So that's going to open everything else up, basically opening the floodgates. Um, of course, three and outs, yes, on the execution. I think we're going to have a lot of, you know what? Actually, this is one thing that I've been thinking about that I think we should do a lot more this season is play action rollouts on first down. Not too much running on first down. I hope we can mix it up a little more on first down. But yeah, definitely execution, and I think Trey Lance is definitely the guy for that, man. He hasn't he hasn't thrown too many interceptions in the games that he played in last year, and even preseason he looked really good. In college, he didn't throw any interceptions until his second season where he threw one, but they only played one game. So I don't think there's going to be too many mistakes, and Lance has the option of rolling out instead of forcing the ball. Um, I think we saw him kind of throw it away a little more than Garoppolo was. Garoppolo, we kind of had to force his hand into throwing the ball away to where fans were on Grant's show talking about, hey man, why doesn't Garoppolo throw it away? And I remember Grant actually went into the press conference and asked Garoppolo that if that was something he was going to work on. And then like the very next game, Garoppolo threw it away for like the first time. So that was pretty funny. But uh the same, I think the concept is going to be the same as far as running being the bulk of what we do, the identity we have will be running, but I think it's going to I mean, I know it's definitely going to be way more creative. Um for sure, just in the run game alone. So the 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 passing is going to play off that, so that's going to be really cool to see. um Brian, you should just come on live if you ever get the chance, man. If you feel like calling in live, I could post the link in the videos or in the comments. um Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that anyways. I'm gonna, just in case you decide to call in. Okay. Here we go. All right, let me know if you see that. Yeah. See, Jimmy threw good passes that caused us to punt because players dropped the pass. Yeah, man. And you know what? I have a lot of love and respect for Garoppolo. He did a lot of good things, man, but he made a lot of boneheaded mistakes, and he's very limited by his arm talent as well, his arm strength. But um, for me, what I've seen from him is I kind of describe him as a gunslinger in in the sense that if you think about like an old gunslinger from like the Wild West that you see in the movies when they do those duels in the middle of the street and they just kind of whip out their gun real fast and shoot, but that's close range with a pistol, right? I think Trey Lance, when I think of him, I think of him more like an AR-15. Um, but Garoppolo, when it comes to all that short stuff, he's a badass man for the most part, but he does have those boneheaded mistakes. And yeah, like you said, a lot of times some of the players drop a lot of passes as well, and we're still having that problem with Lance. So of course, the receivers got to clean that up, and that's something that I talked about with Croc on his channel as well, Eric Crocker. I hope these receivers continue to stay after practice and even before practice if they can to just kind of play catch run routes with Lance and kind of get on the same page because we saw Ayuk do that when training camp started out. Ayuk was basically a non-factor. He started staying with Lance after practice, and he had a spike in production. Right, everybody was talking about Ayuk's the player of training camp right now. He's the hot hand. Same thing with Debo. Not so he hasn't kind of jumped off the screen as much or jumped off the field as far as being as explosive as Ayuk was in training camp so far. But he did start staying after practice with Lance as well, and he started seeing an uptick in production. And same thing with Danny Gray. It basically went in exact order. All these guys that weren't doing good in practice or in training camp, as soon as they all started staying after practice with Lance, all their production started spiking. So I think that's what all the receivers should be doing, um, whether their production is low or not. They can just jog through their routes or whatever. They don't have to sprint full speed. They just have to get that hand-eye coordination, and I think that's something that plays into kind of just the mental aspect of it as well. Um, I know. Okay, so I used to play. I played in uh, college football, and we were actually. I'm up here in Flagstaff, Arizona, and Flagstaff, Arizona started a semi-pro league right before COVID hit. So we started a semi-pro league with Flagstaff, Arizona, finally having their own team for the first time. Then, well, I'll wait till the next part I was going to say. But okay, so anyways, we started having basically our own training camp practices before the season starts. And very first day, I show up, new cleats and everything. I warm up a little bit. Somebody throws me a pass. I jump up. And first thing I do, man, like this is within um, 15 minutes or so of getting there, getting to the first practice of the season at all. Um, I come down and land on my ankle, on my foot sideways, so my ankle popped. Man, it did not feel good. I ran around trying to walk it off because it hurt pretty bad. And I think that was just something of like not being used to that moment and to that movement anymore, kind of coming off the couch and having to work my way back into the mental um, getting used to of it again. So I think that's the same thing with these receivers. Not all of them were at mandatory mini camp. So now that they're at training camp, they have to get used to that hand-eye coordination again, to kind of get your mind as well as your body back into the swing of things. But yeah, we didn't end up getting to finish that season because of or not even starting the season because of COVID hit and they canceled the whole football season. So that sucks. Um, I like the Niners running the ball and having long 10 to 12-minute drives. Yeah, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about too. That's so playing keep away. I think that's going to play a big thing into a big part into this season. Playing keep away. Um, it it's kind of been a part of our game for a long time. Of course, more limited with Garoppolo. Now that Trey Lance is a running aspect as well and a throwing aspect, the defense is being more spread out. I think we're going to have a lot more chances for those long drives, and I hope Trey Lance can continue to execute the way I talked about, so that we can have those long drives and play keep away, help our defense out, and vice versa. I'm pretty sure. Uh, hey, we got Brian in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add you in now, Brian. All right, sound good? Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey,
thanks for having me on.
hey! Thanks for being here, bro. It's good to see you. I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen you on Grant's channel. I like that.
Thanks.
I like the hat too. I got to get one as soon as possible. Yeah.
Well, um, I work during the daytime. I heard you're a nighttime guy. I listen to the chats, and I'm a painter. So when I get a chance, I comment. So I won't be on for too long with you, but I'll
Yeah.
definitely still listen to the stream. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Jimmy's gone. I think he wants to be gone. I think he feels that. I think Shanahan kind of give up on him after the ACL. I think
Hmm.
he really limited him from, getting out of the pocket, being more mobile, ad libbing. Um, I think he really tried to tell Garoppolo, you don't have to save the day. You just have to play my game. Play the plays
Yeah.
I tell you to play. And you've seen it before too. Kyle he doesn't want people like Aaron Rodgers or Dak Prescott. He doesn't want big names because he wants to run his offense. If he gets other people in, they're going to be the face of the franchise. Um, Kyle wants to be the Madden guy with the controller in his hand. He wants his player to do what he wants to do. I'm really excited about Trey Lance. I'm glad they picked him up. I liked him from the start, but I don't. This is going to contradict what I said, but they did go after Watson to begin with. They did go after Stafford. Then they did try to trade for Aaron Rodgers because I think Jed York, I think John Lynch pushed for that. I think they wanted a veteran quarterback. Again, Trey Lance can do everything they're doing. He's going to be a great quarterback, but I don't think we should put too much pressure on him just yet. Let's let him be a game manager. Let's let the rest of the team. We are loaded. Let's let the rest of the team win this for us, and let's just let him just play sound football. And when he does have that opportunity to take a quick strike or a deep shot, then they should do it. But I don't want to see that too many times, because when you do have the ball for 12 minutes out of the quarter, and the other team only gets the ball for a couple minutes, and then it goes into the second quarter, and then they go 3 and out, or they turn the ball over really quickly, and we get the ball and we go on another long drive. When it's halftime and you have 14 points or 21 points, and the other team only had the ball twice, and they have a field goal maybe, that's really, really hard to overcome. So I like the 10-minute drive. I like the ball. I've been talking a whole lot, and I wanted to hear your thoughts too. I'm a big special teams guy. I think special teams is going to be the difference this year for us. But that's not my question. My question for you is what are your thoughts on the running backs? Do you think we keep 4 or 5? Do you think somebody gets stashed on special teams because the labeling of their title? On who do you think are going to be our running backs that we keep?
I think basically everybody but Sermon, man. It sounds like he's kind of everybody's least favorite right now, as well as mine, bro. Like in that preseason game, that same narrative that was going on with him about him trying to be too cute and basically try and make too many cuts side to side instead of just following his blocks and
Mhm.
go running forward like the other guys kind of do, is kind of just whether it's open in front of them or not, they oh sorry, something popped up. Whether it's in front of them or not, they're gonna run forward. And Sermon, he gets caught up trying to run side to side too much. We saw it right before the goal line I don't remember exactly what drive it was. I think Sudfeld was in. Trey Sermon could have followed his blockers to the left. Instead, he tried to get cute and run right, where he got stuffed for a loss instead of making like at least a 2 yard gain to the left with his blockers. You could see that's where the run was designed to. And we were on like the 4 or 5 yard line, I think. So man, that could be a big difference maker. Is whether we go 4 and out or 3 and out right there versus first down and another chance at a touchdown within the 4 yard line. So I don't like seeing that. Sermon is definitely my least favorite running back right now, man. Everybody else is looking good. I think we're gonna keep all four of them. I hope that goes well. I hope Sermon makes that improvement, man, because that narrative has been with him since he's gotten here, and I know he got pissed about it. He took the Niners off his social media. So
A lot of
if
people don't know about that.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people don't know about that. And once he did that, he was either in the doghouse inside the locker room before that had happened, but
yeah,
just as soon as he did that, you really started seeing the limit that they didn't use him anymore. They really didn't. He was the only healthy running back, and we were running Debo. So that's
yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we did see some good things from him, but yeah, as you said, he was in the doghouse, and that's why he took the Niners off his social media. So if they try and put him on the practice squad, I know he's really not going to be happy. I know he's going to probably try and request a trade and all that type of stuff, which I don't think that's a huge loss. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep, man. I really like what I'm seeing from Hasty. He's been with us for a long time. He knows the system, and he's looking really explosive this year. He has really good hands, so he's a really good third down back. We got Jeff Wilson Jr. He's showing up at camp stronger than he has been for the past couple weeks. He really showed up this week. Then Jordan Mason and TDP are looking really good. So I think it's going to be those four guys and maybe Sermon on the practice squad if he don't go down kicking and screaming, which I think he will.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the narrative of Sermon's kind of flipped a little bit this year because a lot of people, at least last year, they first started saying, "Oh, well, Trey Sermon got drafted because of Trey Lance. He's Trey Lance's running back." And I'm like, well, if you're a running back, you should be able to run the ball with anybody. I understand different schemes and different playbooks, but you mentioned he dances a lot in the backfield, and I've seen that too. Now, I don't hate any player. I don't root against any player. I root for the 49ers. It's the Niners. It's not the name on the back. So even like
agreed.
with T.O., when T.O. got, mad at Garcia and stuff, once he left the team, I was like, man, we lost T.O. But, when you're cancer, you're cancer. And I'm not saying that, Sermon's locker room cancer, but there's
Yeah,
a certain point where if you're not, you're just not. But my point is I feel like Trey Sermon became a lot of people's favorite. And I think the narrative is changing a little bit because they're hearing more and more about, practice and stuff and him coming out and then they seen the game. So I know he's a good pass catching back. That's what I've been hearing out of camp, and I've heard him.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, that's good. But as far as him being like, take the ball and run it right down the middle, he's not doing it. He's getting stuck in the back. And I think his preseason game, he had like 4 carries or 5 carries, and each one of his carries were like 2 yards. And I want to say his fourth carry was negative yards. So I think it's going to be Mitchell, Wilson, TDP, Mason. I think Hasty gets put on the special teams because that's where they got him listed right now. And I think if we do, I don't think Sermon's getting cut. I think he'll make the roster because he was 3rd round pick last year, and we got Mason this year, not Mason, TDP this year for a 3rd round pick. That's alarming when you keep drafting running backs in the same position. If you believe in the guy from last year, you wouldn't go and draft the same position. But maybe you do because maybe you just see TDP is a better fit for the team. But I just don't. I think this is going to be his make or break season, and I think he's going to be the next Carlos Hyde. Fans loved Hyde, but Hyde just didn't put it together on her field.
You know what? I don't know if you remember in the preseason, the Packers game, but I'm trying to remember who got higher team reps. Was that Jordan Mason or Hasty? I'm gonna have to go back and check that out if you don't remember who was running with the
I
second
want to
string
say
and
it
who
was
was running with the
Mason,
third
but
string.
I want to say it was Mason, but I might not be positive. I was really, really excited. I had a lot of people over for the game, so I didn't get to pay attention as close as I wanted to. But I think TDP didn't have as good of a day as Mason, and I think Hasty and Mason they had the best days. But again, um, it's going to be exciting. This is a very exciting season. Hey, let
Hell
me
yeah,
jump
man.
off. I'll call in again sometime. I'll keep listening to your stream, and if anything happens, if I see you, I'll let you know. And once again, keep grinding because people like me like hearing 49er content. People like you like talking about it, and this is how this world becomes a little bit closer and a little bit nicer. So once
Yes,
again, go now,
sir.
and I'll
Hell
see
yeah.
you.
Hell yeah,
Thank you.
bro. Much love, man. And I'm gonna go buy some of your guys' merch as well. Just wait until payday, huh?
All
All
right,
right.
man. You have a great day. Go
All right,
Niners.
brother. Likewise. Take care. Right on. Well, we got a great call from Brian, man. That was awesome. One of the things I wanted to talk about with him before he left was that, okay, so when Trey Sermon was drafted, he was drafted to be a shotgun running back, basically to be in the what do you call it? The option with Trey Lance. And I think it's in the sense of like Jimmy Garoppolo as well. He was not so great of a under center passer as he was in the shotgun. And then during last season, they got to put Garoppolo in the shotgun more, and he just seemed a lot more confident. He gets to step back, be in the shotgun, and see the defense from a better view. And it seemed like he played better in that formation. Now, I think the same is probably true for for Trey Sermon is when he's in the shotgun formation as well versus uh when we're in what do you call it like a under center offense that Trey Sermon gets to see the field better in the shotgun. So maybe that's why he's better and he gets to do his cutbacks more. And here we go. A comment from Brian again. Thank you again for having me on. Hey, man, my pleasure. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great day, man. I hope you continue to contribute to the channel as far as your discussions, your perspective, man. You have definitely great perspective and knowledge of the game. So that's great to see and hear. And like I said, I hope you have a great day. Don't work too hard. What is it? Working hard or hardly working? Yeah, man. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for everything. Um, let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So with this offense as well, I do see everybody getting more production. Like again, going back to the field, getting stretched out and having more options with Lance's arm abilities. I just think everybody's production is going to reflect that. All the other receivers are going to get more touchdowns, more yardage, all that type of stuff. They're going to be involved more. Even the not so big name guys, like I mean, and especially like use check, man. But the I think Debo is going to see a little bit of a drop in production. um, he's not going to be leaned on like he was last year. He was that guy, and I don't think he's going to be that guy anymore. I don't think he's going to have to. I'm sure he would love to, just from everybody, every athlete. I think for the most part, especially like football players and stuff like that, they want to be that guy. That's why you play the game. You love to get the ball and help your team out and make big plays, right? And I know Debo, that's the kind of player he is. That's what he wants to do. He wants to produce and help his team out. But the team isn't going to be leaning on him like they did last year. So I think with the ball getting kind of spread out a little more between everybody, he's going to see a little bit of a drop in production. Not to say he's going to have a bad season or anything like that. I'm sure he's still going to have a great season as long as he stays healthy and in shape like he did last year. Um, I think that's better for him to stay healthy, anyways. For him to not be leaned on so much is gonna just help his career for the long run. He won't get banged up as much this year as if we were running him this year how we did last year. So that should work out for everybody in the long run. Him for getting another contract extension in 3 years, and for us, him staying healthy, hopefully, and not being leaned on so much. But I want to know who you guys think should be the second string quarterback. We both got, I mean, we got to see both quarterbacks that are backups on our team. That's Purdy and Sudfeld, and they both look really good. And I like things from both of them that maybe the other uh, doesn't do so well, like Sudfeld's deep ball versus Purdy's uh, short game. I think Sudfeld's better at the deep ball than Purdy is, and vice versa. Purdy seems to be better on the short game and athleticism than Sudfeld does. So, who do I think should be the second string quarterback? You know, Sudfeld, he knows the system better. I think with time, I think Purdy's gonna take that role, man. Um, that was a beautiful deep ball to Ray McLeod from Sudfeld, but he's really like a statue in the pocket. And Purdy showed some good mobility, and like I said, he reminds me of 2017 Garoppolo. And if Trey Lance were to go down, I think that's something we might need to kind of keep the ball rolling here. Somebody like Purdy that can just execute those third downs and stuff like that. Kind of like Garoppolo did. If he could just, play his part in that way as a game manager, then he will probably take this role as the second string. Now, Sudfeld, um, just because like for one example that I can point out to for sure is the 49ers in the preseason game against the Packers. Um we got the ball with what, like 40 seconds, 40-ish seconds left before the half. So the offense ran that with three timeouts. Sudfeld passed the ball to I forget who, and very next play with 25 seconds left, he gets time in the pocket. Instead of throwing the ball away when the pocket's collapsing, um, or even trying to scramble out of the pocket, he takes a sack with 25 seconds left, and we have the ball at like the 50-55. So I definitely don't like seeing that. Purdy showed that mobility to extend the play a little bit and throw on the run, so that was beautiful. And he can throw really beautiful passes from the pocket. But I hope one thing he can fix is those floater balls he throws up in the air that just stay up there for too long, giving the defense a chance to catch up and make an interception. So hopefully he can fix that, or just not be asked to throw that in the first place. Because if he's not leaned on to make deep passes, then I think he can just execute this offense like Garoppolo did, and just play game manager and get us some wins if Trey Lance were to go down, which I hope we don't even have to talk about that at all. I hope uh, Trey Lance stays healthy for the season. But we're seeing improvement from the offensive line, right? That's what everybody's been talking about. We've had all these question marks. I've been worried about the offensive line. I want Trey Lance to stay healthy, right? So um, the number one thing that's going on with that is that he needs to be protected by his offensive line. And from everything that we've all been hearing is the offensive line is showing good things. But Glinchey did go down, and who was Skull Bruston Daniel Brunskill as well, or was it Justin School? Well, anyways, so we had signed Jordan Mills, and he's looking really good, so that's awesome. But McKivitz has been taking the backup role in that McGlinchey spot, and he's been showing some good things. I also heard he beat Bosa yesterday. I think it was he beat no day before yesterday. He beat Bosa in a one-on-one, so that's pretty cool. And as well as Alfredo Gutierrez, who a lot of people have been asking about, because the 49ers have a lot of Mexican American fans, and so they want to know about the kid from Mexico, Alfredo Gutierrez. And yeah, he's been improving, and he's been showing good things as well. He beat Drake Jackson on a rep, and he's starting to progress and look better little by little. So that's really encouraging, man. Our offensive line doesn't look like a bunch of scrubs. Um, our centers look good as well in the preseason game, so that was awesome. Really encouraged by most of everything that I'm seeing, man. And as well as we talked about the running backs with Brian, but we didn't delve into Jeff Wilson Jr. too much, and he was pretty much a non-factor in the beginning of training camp for like the first week. Then everybody was wondering what was going on there, and he seems to have stepped it up in this past few days. So that's really awesome, man. He's gaining momentum. He's the veteran, and I was saying before with Jeff Wilson Jr., don't sleep on him, man. Yeah, he's not really showing too much in training camp to begin with, and this is what I was saying, and I was like, he might just be taking it slow. That's what I think. You want to be safe. You don't want to go out there and tear a muscle or anything like that, like we're seeing. I think these guys need to be just a little bit smarter about how they practice. But I think maybe that's what Jeff Wilson Jr. was doing. He's just kind of being smart about his body and kind of working into it and not trying to do too much too soon. So for him to start gaining momentum is it's pretty great, man. He's the veteran. He's really good at what he does. He's really good at catching as well. So he's not just a smack you with the run type running back. He also gives us that passing receiving ability. So that's one of the reasons I want to see Jeff Wilson Jr. make the team, which I'm pretty confident he will, man. Um, yeah. But yeah, of course, Sermon. I hope he improves, man. I wish him nothing but the best. I want to see him improve. I like to see guys succeed. I'm not wishing, like Brian said, I'm not wishing ill on nobody. At the end of the day, we're 49er fans. This is a show by a 49er fan for 49er fans. And I want to see Sermon succeed, man. But if I had to pick him, or if I had to pick my team of running backs right now, he would not be on there. But hopefully he can improve and bring the best out of um, everybody. And here we got Brian back in here. How often do you plan on going live? Just depends on the content we got going on, bro. If I can do every day, then I'll do every day. I'm definitely going to put notifications on ahead of time, and I'm gonna try and do it like more of a different time slot than the other guys, especially because I work at night. So I work graveyard shift from like 11 at night to 7 in the morning. And when I'm getting off work, Eric Crocker's on, and I get the notification for him. I watch him. I get in discussions with him. Then Grant is always kind of mix and match, but for the most part, he does his shows earlier. Not really anything past 7 o'clock at night. So I think really I want to get that nighttime slot, maybe like 8 o'clock or so, every day if I can, just depending on the content. Like I said, as long as there's something to talk about, we're going to talk about it. And yeah, man, but whenever I get the chance to do it in the morning as well, I don't want to kind of cross hairs with other channels that I know and watch. When they have their show on, I don't want to stream while they're on. So I'm gonna kind of play around that, but just look for early morning or late, not late night, but around 8 o'clock p.m. And I'm in Arizona time, so that's pretty close to Pacific time. I think we have a 1 hour difference depending on the time of year. Um, but yeah, I got here a little late because I had to go somewhere after work. But yeah, I'll definitely be giving you guys the notifications, hopefully every day or every other day. And Brian, again, I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great day at work. Somebody, uh, somebody that I had done some work for before actually asked me to go paint for them this week as well. So they wanted me to get off work in the morning and go paint their house after. And I don't know. I wanted to, but I also want to contribute to my channel and get this off the ground. I'm really surprised by by the amount of views I've already been getting. It's really encouraging and great to see. So I'm really happy about that, and it's encouraging me even more. And I know one thing about doing YouTube is not getting down on yourself. If you don't get too many views at first, you got to just keep working at it and working out the kinks. Like I already got a better camera than what I had in my first one or two videos, so that's a step up. I got this poof thing here for the microphone, so it doesn't pick up as much noise or the those p sounds. You guys don't get too much feedback on that, but yeah, bro, try and look for me every day or every other day. And of course, if you guys can't catch me live, then catch me when you can, just like I do, man. When I'm not awake for those other live streams, I just catch it when I can. Especially, I try to save everything for when I go to work, so I have something to listen to and not get bored. But uh, of course, we know Denard was released, but Womack is looking great. And that's, again, who knows if he might still end up on this practice squad. He has to get released to end up on the practice squad. He has to have a chance to go out there and look for another job. If he doesn't, then he has a chance to come back to the practice squad. So we can still look out for that. There's still hope. But of course, Womack is looking great, man. That was awesome to see. Because that was one thing that we had questions about right in the beginning of before training camp was offensive line and nickel cornerback. But man, Womack. Um, Now here's one question: what's going to happen when he's faced with Cooper Cup? And this is one thing that I just hope, especially him being a rookie, but whether it was him, the rookie, or the veteran, I would like to see linebacker and safety help for that nickel position, um, especially because Womack is a rookie. And yeah, he looks great right now. This is preseason. We have to take that into context. But during the season, he's gonna. Oh man, I think he's gonna not be overwhelmed, but it's gonna be a different level of competition that he's gonna be going up against. So I really hope we kind of help him ease into that role. And I definitely want to see his progression, man. He's looking really promising. But like Cooper Cup, man, if he can cover him one on one, that's going to be amazing. That might be somebody to lock up for a few years, right? But Diamador Lenore probably going to be his secondary in the meantime. Um, but man, I hope the Niners go out and look for some more safeties. Um, that's one thing I'm worried about, man. I don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy Ward, how long he's going to be out. It's give or take a month, but you never know with these hamstring injuries that can linger for a while. Um, it's better if we get some solid play at that safety position to kind of help him stay away for a little bit longer and really get healthy. But at the same time, the Niners should have thought of this ahead of time. They knew that getting rid of Jaquiski Tart, that we should have either drafted another safety and or signed another like actual veteran safety that has more and more solid experience. But yeah, Womack, he was a walk on back in college, kind of like me. I was a walk on as well. He went all conference. So man, hopefully he still has that chip on his shoulder as well, because that's going to be a big part of his progression is kind of being humble and just working hard, man. Like Trey Lance, of course, that's one of the things that's promising about him, right? So hopefully Womack has that same work ethic and keeps it, because yeah, he can definitely be a great player. But Crawley. So Crawley, the other cornerback, I guess he was in for Ambry Thomas, and Ambry Thomas is kind of in the doghouse right now. Of course, he didn't really look too great in the preseason. Um, he he was always known as the man coverage guy, but he was being played in zone coverage last year, which it seemed like he was doing really good because he was the other guy that was opposite of Mosley, of course. And he did pretty good last year, but that was in zone coverage, even though he's a man coverage guy. So I'm really surprised that now that he's been playing man coverage, going back to his natural abilities, that he's struggling, man. It's weird because, like I said before, Ambry is always there to make the play. His coverage skills are great. It's when making the play on the ball comes into play. He has some bad coordination. I don't know if it's hand-eye coordination or what it is. He's like an early jumper. Those people that kind of jump too early for a catch or a rebound. He's one of those kind of people. His When it comes to that, he's off. There's something off in his wiring. But man, he sticks on receivers. It's just the ball he has trouble with for whatever reason, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of odd to me. Because it seems like he has the hardest part down. It's the simple part he can't execute. That's really weird. But yeah, man, Crawley has been taking reps in place of him, and Ambry is kind of dropped in the depth chart for now. But I wish him luck, man. He did a lot of good things. He filled in well for us last year, of course, in the playoffs and all that. So he has potential. Maybe it's just a confidence thing that he has to regain. But another question for you guys is, how do you guys feel about our offense? Do you think our offense will be number one this year? Throw it in the comments. Do I? Oh, you know what? Actually, it's our run offense. Do you think our run offense will be number one this year? I think so, man. I think our run offense has a really good chance to be at least top three. I mean, think about it, man. The whole Washington stuff that Kyle Shanahan was doing with RG3, we're already established as a really good running team. That's what we like to do. And with all the creativity we're going to add to it this year, we don't really have any um, established home run hitters yet. Like, we don't really have anybody running for 80-yard touchdowns yet. But that has yet to be seen. Of course, the way Jordan Mason's looking, he might be that explosive guy um, to break one off. So we'll see, man. And one thing I did see was, yeah, Brian, that's what I'm saying, man. At least top three. With Trey Lance, I think we could definitely be number one, at least top two, top three. Um, and then if our defense stays healthy, being number one defense, man, that's gonna be crazy. I'm super excited. I know I was on Grant's channel. He's like, "You're really enthusiastic for this season, aren't you? I can hear it in your voice, basically." And I was like, "Bruh, yeah, I really am. I'm really excited for the season. It's been real anxious wait for me, man. I've just been stuck on listening to 49er stuff all off season, and that's why I started this channel, man. There wasn't as much as there's a lot of 49ers content out there. I just felt like there wasn't enough. So that's why I started my own channel as well, so I can give people something more to listen to. Because I know when I'm at work, I listen to like an hour video, then I'll listen to like another hour video, hour and a half video of somebody else, all on 49er stuff. And then once I'm out of videos, and I'm like, now what? What do I listen to now? And I'll try to listen to music, and it doesn't, with the anticipation that I have for this season, it doesn't really do it. It doesn't do me justice. I still need more 49ers content. And like I said, this is 49ers therapy. So I think that's why, man. I don't know why I'm so addicted, but I love it. Um, but one of the things I was listening to, and that was pretty cool to see, because of course we had all the skeptics before training camp and everything. We still do, like Emmanuel Ocho. I don't know what that guy's problem is. Something's wrong with his eyes. But Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, if you guys go check out just look them up on talking about Trey Lance and the 49ers. They were raving about Trey Lance. So that was pretty badass to see that the narrative especially after that preseason game, that it's kind of changing. And here, you know what? Actually, here, let me get Brian's comment real quick. I want to start a channel, just not ready yet. And I feel you, bro. I'd been wanting to start one for a while. I just moved into a new place a couple months ago, and same thing, man. I wanted to start my channel a long time ago. Kind of have to let things fall into place and everything, right? And of course, the first camera that I had was not very great. I only started like a week ago. Then I looked up some more reviews and found a way better camera for a pretty great price of like $60. Um, for the value and the price, I like it a lot. Yeah, man, this is a great camera for the price. This microphone, I got it for $40 off Facebook, even though brand new, it's like a $150 microphone. If you go to like Best Buy or Walmart or Amazon and try and buy it brand new, this microphone's like 150, but I got it for $40 plus a little bit for shipping. So, you got to look around for those bargains. You got to just get prepared mentally and uh, equipment wise and all that stuff. What do you call it? Logistically. Ooh, fancy. I like to use big words to sound more photosynthesis. But oh man, okay, so getting back to well actually, yeah, Brian, I'm gonna chime in, bro. If you start your channel, let me know. Um, that'd be cool to see and kind of, jump in with you as well and bounce ideas off each other. I know we talked to Grant as well. So should be in the works with him, Eric Crocker and them too. So maybe Jason Aponte. We'll just see, man. And with you as well. I wish you the best of luck and I hope you can get all the logistics of starting your own channel going. I wish you the best of luck, bro. And I'm gonna be here to support you as well as your merch that you guys made, man. Congrats on that, by the way. That's awesome. But getting back to Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, they were raving about the 49ers and Trey Lance, man, what they've seen so far. And you have to keep in mind, Skip Bayless, he's a huge Cowboys fan. It pisses him off when people talk crap about the Cowboys. And who's one of our biggest rivals in the NFL? The Cowboys, right? They call it the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. Um, but yeah, so Skip Bayless he's a Cowboys fan, big Cowboys fan, been for a long time. And Shannon Sharp played under Mike Shanahan. So he knows the system as well. So you get these two different perspectives, being an opposing fan and somebody who actually played in the similar system of Kyle Shanahan's father. So they're raving about what the 49ers can be this year. And of course, I'm like, finally, man, somebody else is seeing it. Because everybody's so skeptical about Trey Lance and what the 49ers can do this year. I'm like, dude, how do you guys not see it, man? The potential is through the roof. And yeah, so it's really cool to see them raving about it and saying this could definitely be a Super Bowl team. They can see the 49ers going to the Super Bowl for sure. And Skip Bayless, remember, he's a Cowboys fan. He says the 49ers may possibly have the number one offense, most yards and touchdowns of any NFL team this year. A Cowboys fan said that. That says a lot, I think. I don't think he's just trolling, man. But so you guys go check that out. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp talking about the 49ers being a Super Bowl team. That was really cool to see. And then when I got off work, oh yeah, here we go. Skip used to cover the Niners, yeah. But at the end of the day, I know he's a rival. But one of the things I saw as well, like right after that too, was real funny. I got off work and I was sitting in my car, kind of just sitting there warming it up, feeling good, getting off work, and scrolling through my Facebook real quick, and a meme pops up of Jamar Chase, and it says, it says me. I think it said me after. You know what? Actually, let me just pull it up so I don't mess it up. Where the hell is my phone? Not supposed to have my phone out during these videos, right? Unprofessional. Let me see. See if you guys could see it. It says nobody. Me during recess. Can you guys see it? And it shows his stats, and it says that he has like 266 receiving yards and all this stuff, 11 receptions, 3 touchdowns. And again, it says nobody, and then me during recess, showing Jamar Chase. And I thought that was hilarious because that's exactly me when I used to be back in elementary and middle school and stuff like that, playing football during recess and just balling out and being like a Pro Bowl wide receiver out there. And then you go back to class all sweaty after lunchtime. So yeah, that made me crack up this morning. I shared it. But I think that's pretty much all the topics I had for today, man. We got the first day of joint practices with the Minnesota Vikings. I see we got 2 viewers right now, at least. So whoever the other viewer is, jump in the comments, man. Ask me anything or just comment on anything, any thoughts you have before I close this out. But that's pretty much all the topics that I had for today. We're gonna see what goes on with the first joint practice with the Minnesota Vikings. We're not gonna get to see Trey Lance in that second preseason game, according to Kyle Shanahan. But he always has something up his sleeve. He might decide last minute, or he might already have it made up in his mind that he doesn't want to play Trey Lance, and we'll just see, man. He might go against his word. Um, might be smarter not to get him, put him in harm's way and possible injury. But who knows, man? We'll see. Um, Giving the other person a minute to make a comment before I close this out. And Brian, um, I appreciate you, man. Let me know if you start your channel. For sure, I'll subscribe. I'll join in if you want to host live videos and all that. Um, thank you. Thank you, bro. You contributed. So great show to you as well. All right. Close it out in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys.